Good evening. We'd like to call this Court of Common Council meeting to order for today, March 10th, 2025. We are broadcasting live on HPA-TV.org, Channel 96, and Comcast, Channel 6032. Mr. Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Councilwoman Bilodeau.
Here.
Councilman Clark.
Here.
Councilman Gale. Here. Councilman Hernandez.
Here.
Councilman Migdom. Here. Councilwoman Rosado.
Here.
Councilwoman Rossetti.
Here.
Council President Surgeon. And Councilman Thomas. We have a quorum.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Let us all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Madam Majority Leader, you have the floor.
Thank you. I make a motion to approve the minutes of February 24th, 2025.
Second.
Motion's been made and properly second to approve the minutes of February 24th, 2025. Any discussions? Hearing and seeing none, Mr. Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Councilwoman Bilodeau.
Yes.
Councilman Clark.
Yes.
Councilman Gale.
Yes.
Councilman Hernandez.
Yes.
Councilman Migdom.
Yes.
Councilwoman Rosado.
Yes.
Councilwoman Rossetti.
Yes.
Councilman Surgeon. Councilman Thomas. Pass.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Madam Majority Leader, you have the floor.
Thank you. I make a motion to place the following items on consent. 3.2, Mayor Aru Lamplam with accompanying resolution authorizing the City of Hartford to apply for and accept a grant from the State of Connecticut Department of Transportation Highway Safety Office. 3.3, Mayor Aru Lamplam with accompanying resolution to accept a $575 flat fee stipend from Connecticut Children's Medical Center for the Bridging the Gap pilot project. 3.4, Mayor Aru Lamplam with accompanying resolution authorizing the City of Hartford to accept funding from the State of Connecticut Department of Transportation Highway Safety Office for the Click It or Ticket Enforcement Grant. 3.5, Mayor Aru Lamplam with accompanying resolution authorizing the City of Hartford to accept grant funds from the State of Connecticut Department of Energy and Environmental Protection for improvements to the Goodwin Park entrance and Maple Avenue streetscape. 6.1, Mayor Aru Lamplam with accompanying resolution appointment of Lisa J. Herrera to the Commission on Refugee and Immigrant Affairs. 6.2, Mayor Aru Lamplam with accompanying resolution to accept a grant of $1,376,327 from the Connecticut Department of Public Health for HIV, HCV, STI prevention services. 6.3, Mayor Aru Lamplam with accompanying resolution authorizing the City of Hartford's Department of Health and Human Services to accept and distribute $500 in gift cards from the Granby Congregational Church. 6.4, Mayor Aru Lamplam with accompanying resolution to accept $1,090,000 in annual grant funding from the Center for Disease Control and Prevention for Opioid Funding. 6.5, Mayor Aru Lamplam with accompanying resolution confirming the appointment of Claudette M. Graham to the Commission on Refugee and Immigrant Affairs. 6.6, Mayor Aru Lamplam with an accompanying resolution authorizing a budget increase for the school building project at the Betances Learning Lab Magnet School. And 7.2, Councilman Hernandez, Councilwoman Bilodeau, Majority Leader Rossetti, Councilwoman Rosado, Council President Surgeon, and Assistant Majority Leader Clark, Resolution Operation Prom, Connecticut.
Second.
Thank you. Motion's been made and properly second for our consent calendar items on items 3.2, 3.3, 3.4, 3.5, 6.1, 6.2, 6.3, 6.4, 6.5, 6.6, and 7.2. Are there any discussions? Hearing or seeing none, Mr. Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Councilwoman Bilodeau.
Yes.
Councilman Clark.
Yes.
Councilman Gale.
Yes.
Councilman Hernandez.
Yes.
Councilman Migdom.
Yes.
Councilwoman Rosado.
Yes.
Councilwoman Rossetti.
Yes.
Council President Surgeon. Councilman Thomas. Pass.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Madam Majority Leader, you have the floor.
I make a motion to receive the following items. 3.1, Mayor Aru Lamplam with accompanying Communications to deliver the annual report to the Court of Common Council on the state of the City of Hartford. 4.1, Health and Human Services Committee report discussing resolution appointment of Lisa J. Herrera to the Commission on Refugee and Immigrant Affairs. 4.2, Health and Human Services Committee report discussing resolution to accept a grant of $1,376,327 from the Connecticut Department of Public Health for HIV/HCV STI prevention services. 4.3, Health and Human Services Committee report discussing resolution authorizing the City of Hartford's Department of Health and Human Services to accept and distribute $500 in gift cards from the Granby Congregational Church. 4.4, Health and Human Services Committee report discussing resolution to accept approximately $1,090,000 in annual grant funding from the Center for Disease Control and Prevention for opioid funding. 4.5, Health and Human Services Committee report discussing resolution confirming the appointment of Claudette M. Graham to the Commission on Refugee and Immigrant Affairs. And 4.6, Operations Management, Budget, and Government Accountability Committee report discussing resolution authorizing a budget increase for the school building project at the Patansis Learning Lab Magnet School.
Second.
Thank you. Motion's been made and properly second to receive the following items: 3.1, 4.2, 4.3, 4, 5, and 6. Any discussions? Hearing and seeing none, Mr. Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Councilwoman Bilodeau?
Yes.
Councilman Clark?
Yes.
Councilman Gale?
Yes.
Councilman Hernandez?
Yes.
Councilman Mixum?
Yes.
Councilwoman Rosado?
yes,
Councilwoman Rossetti?
Yes.
Council President Surgeon? Councilman Thomas? Pass.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Madam Majority Leader, you have the floor.
Thank you. I make a motion to refer the following items to the Operations Management, Budget, and Government Accountability Planning Committee. 7.3, Councilman Mitchum, resolution supporting an adjustment of the Connecticut's fiscal guardrail, and to Planning, Economic Development, and Housing Committee. 3.6, Mayor Aru Lamplam, with accompanying resolution authorizing the City of Hartford to increase its forgivable down payment assistance program loan cap.
Second.
Thank you. Motion has been made and properly second on the referral items, 7.3 to OMBGA, 3.6 to PEDH. Any discussions? Hearing or seeing none, Mr. Clerk, can you please call the roll?
On the referred items, Councilwoman Bilodeau?
Sorry, yes.
Councilman Clark?
Yes.
Councilman Gale?
Yes.
Councilman Hernandez?
Yes.
Councilman Mixum?
Yes.
Councilwoman Rosado?
yes,
Councilwoman Rossetti?
Yes.
Council President Surgeon? Councilman Thomas? Pass.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Madam Majority Leader, you have the floor.
I make a motion to withdraw 7.4, Assistant Majority Leader Clark, Council President Surgeon, resolution for the City of Hartford to host a renter's insurance fair and for the City Council to explore policies regarding renter's insurance.
Second.
Motion has been made and properly second. I am the maker of the resolution, and I have requested to withdraw my resolution. And
Point of order, Mr.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't think a vote's necessary to withdraw.
no, I was not going to call for a vote. I was just providing clarity to our viewing audience.
Can I ask a question
Yes.
about the
Through you.
withdrawal? Thank you. Why? Why withdraw? What happened?
I found out from speaking with the mayor that this is something he had been working on. Councilwoman Rosado actually had discussed this with him during the Sherbrooke residence issue, and so I did discuss with him wanting to collaborate so we can get this, do something about this. So he has given me his word that we will be working on this. So
So it's happening.
it's happening. It's just not going to happen right now. You're welcome. Any comments? None? All right, thank you. Madam Majority Leader, you have the floor.
Thank you. I make a motion to postpone until March 24th, 2025. 5.1, Mayor Aru Lamplam with accompanying ordinance amendment of sections 15-32, 15-33, 15-34 of Chapter 15 of the Municipal Code of Hartford pertaining to the Central Connecticut Solid Waste Authority with a public hearing on Monday, March 17th, 2025 at 7 p.m.
Second.
Motion has been made and properly second to postpone the public hearing, item 5.1. I'm sorry, the ordinance to 5.1 that has a public hearing on Monday, March 17th, 2025 at 7 p.m. Any discussion? Hearing or seeing none, Mr. Clerk, can you please call the roll?
On the postponed item, Councilwoman Bilodeau,
Yes.
Councilman Clark,
Yes.
Councilman Gale,
Yes.
Councilman Hernandez,
Yes.
Councilman Mictum,
Yes.
Councilwoman Rosado,
yes,
Councilwoman Rossetti,
Yes.
Council President Surgeon, Councilman Thomas. Pass.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Madam Majority Leader, you have the floor.
Thank you. I make a motion for action of 7.1, Majority Leader Rossetti, Councilman Hernandez, Councilwoman Bilodeau, Councilwoman Rosado, Councilman Majority Leader TJ Clark. Resolution requesting the members of the Hartford Common Council recognize, celebrate, and hereby proclaim March 2025 as Women's History Month.
Second.
Motion has been made and properly second to take action on item 7.1. Is there any discussion? Yes, there is. Madam Majority Leader, you have the floor.
Thank you for allowing me to speak on this resolution. Certainly joined by my colleagues, and Women's History Month. And, you know, this is something that I think about often as a woman in history, and it's a month. But, you know, I was looking at the resolution in the last couple days and kind of reading over some of it, and I looked at one of the last whereas. Women have been principal leaders not only in securing their own rights of suffrage and equal opportunity, but also in the abolitionist movement, emancipation movement, industrial labor movement, civil rights movement, other movements, peace movements, all to create a more fair and just society. So, you know, it got me thinking about my colleagues that I've seen over the years and the things that have happened in Connecticut and Hartford, and particularly a lot of the women who have come before us. And, you know, I went on the old internet and started looking things up. And some of the things that really, and if you don't mind, colleagues, I'd just like to read some of them because I think they're really pretty unbelievable. So in 1882, Mary Hall, who's from Connecticut, desire to practice law was a catalyst for the first woman permitted to the bar. In 1927, Hartford native became one of the first women in Connecticut to earn a pilot's license. In 1955, Marian Anderson of Connecticut became the first black singer to perform at the Metropolitan Opera. This one, I went into the Wikipedia black hole of Rachel Taylor Milton in 1964 co-founded the Urban League of Hartford, but also was the first black woman to graduate from the Hartford Seminary, now known as the Hartford International University for Religion and Peace. 1966, Constance Baker Motley, first black federal court judge. 1967, Ann Usello made history in the state, becoming the first elected mayor of a Connecticut municipality, woman. And in 1974, a lot of us knew Ella Grasso was the first woman in the history of the United States to be elected governor in her own right. 1975, Edith Gaines of Hartford became the first black superintendent of public schools in Hartford. 1985, Nancy Melendez of Connecticut and Hartford became the first Latina elected to the Hartford City Council. Carrie Saxon Perry, first black mayor to be elected mayor of a major New England city in 1987. Maria Sanchez, 1988, first Latina woman to gain entry into the Connecticut General Assembly. Nancy Wyman became, in 1984, the first elected female state comptroller. And certainly I can go on, but I'll end with our treasurer, Denise Napier, who in 1999 pushed both gender and racial boundaries by becoming the first black woman elected to the position in the first woman elected to the position in the state, and then the first black woman as a statewide official. So when you think about just those few women that I've looked up today or I knew about or thought about, because it got me thinking, and I just, as I sit here with my colleagues and, you know, how lucky we are to share in the thought process that we have together, and I think it's pretty different than it's been some other years, but it can always be better. But I enjoy the support. I just wanted to have an opportunity to speak to it, and I thank you for the time.
Thank you, Madam Majority Leader, and thank you for the history. Any other discussion? Hearing and seeing none, Mr. Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Councilwoman Billadou?
Yes.
Councilman Clark?
Yes.
Councilman Gale?
Yes.
Councilman Hernandez?
Yes.
Councilman Mictum?
Yes.
Councilwoman Rosado?
yes,
Councilwoman Rossetti?
Yes.
Council President Surgeon? Councilman Thomas? Pass.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Madam Majority Leader, you have the floor.
I make a motion to go into executive session.
Second.
Motion's been made and properly second to go into executive session. Any discussion? Hearing and seeing none, Mr. Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Councilwoman Billadou?
Yes.
Councilman Clark?
Yes.
Councilman Gale?
Yes.
Councilman Hernandez?
Yes.
Councilman Mictum?
Yes.
Councilwoman Rosado?
yes.
Councilwoman Rossetti?
Yes.
Pass.
Thank you. We now stand at ease as we go into executive session. Do it again. Madam Majority Leader, you have the floor.
I make a motion to come out of executive session.
Second.
Motion's been made and properly second to come out of executive session. Any discussions? Hearing or seeing none, Mr. Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Councilman Bilodeau?
Yes.
Councilman Clark?
Yes.
Councilman Gale?
Yes.
Councilman Hernandez?
Yes.
Councilman Mictum?
Yes.
Councilman Rosado?
Yes.
Councilwoman Rossetti?
Yes.
Council President Surgeon? Councilman Thomas? Pass.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Madam Majority Leader, you have the floor.
I make a motion to accept the settlement of 69-5 and the issue of Johnson versus the City of Hartford.
Second.
Motion's been made and properly second on the substance of the settlement. Any discussions? Hearing or seeing none, Mr. Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Councilman Bilodeau?
Yes.
Councilman Clark?
Yes.
Councilman Gale?
Yes.
Councilman Hernandez?
Yes.
Councilman Mictum?
Yes.
Councilwoman Rosado?
Yes.
Councilwoman Rossetti?
Yes.
Council President Surgeon? And Councilman Thomas? Pass.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Since we have no other business to discuss tonight, this council meeting is now adjourned. Thank you very much. Have a good night.